Hey guys, I'm Jack with Dark Mode AI, and you're watching my AI version of me. I'm probably off somewhere coding. Welcome to the channel. If you've been anywhere near tech Twitter hacker news or developer communities in the past few weeks, you've probably seen an absolute firestorm brewing around two names, Clawdbot and Claude Code. Here's what happened. A project called Clawdbot exploded onto GitHub and became one of the hottest open source projects literally overnight, racking up over 80,000 stars. People were calling it the future of artificial intelligence assistance. Then, within just 72 hours, everything fell apart. Legal threats, security nightmares, crypto scams, a complete rebrand. It was chaos. Meanwhile, Anthropic quietly released Claude Code, their official coding tool that does many of the same things, but in a completely different way. So today, we're diving deep into this drama. We're going to compare these two tools head to head. We'll talk about what they actually do, how they differ, the security concerns that have security experts literally screaming warnings. And most importantly, which one you should actually use if you're a developer or someone interested in artificial intelligence tools. By the end of this video, you'll understand the fundamental differences between these approaches. You'll know about the real costs involved, and you'll be able to make an informed decision about which tool, if any, fits your needs. Trust me, this story has everything: trademark battles, security disasters, viral hype, and some genuinely innovative technology. Let's get into it. First, let's establish what we're actually comparing here, because there's a lot of confusion. Despite what you might read online, Clawdbot and Claude Code are not really direct competitors. They're both powered by Claude, Anthropic's large language model, but that's kind of where the similarities end. Think of it this way: they both use the same brain, but they have completely different bodies and completely different jobs. Claude Code is a command line tool specifically designed for coding tasks. It lives in your terminal. You give it programming tasks, and it writes code, debugs problems, and helps you build software. It's focused, specialized, and officially supported by Anthropic. Clawdbot, which was just rebranded to Moltbot after legal pressure from Anthropic, is something much more ambitious and much more chaotic. It's a general-purpose artificial intelligence assistant that can control your entire computer. It runs 24/7 in the background. It can read your emails, browse the web, book reservations, manage your calendar, and basically act like a personal assistant with access to everything on your machine. So the fundamental difference is this: Claude Code is a coding specialist that lives in your terminal. Clawdbot is a general assistant that lives everywhere, connected to your messaging apps, your browser, your entire digital life. Already you can see why one might be more risky than the other, right? We'll get to that security nightmare in a minute, but first, let's talk about how this whole drama started. The Clawdbot story is honestly wild. The project was created by Peter Steinberger, and it went viral almost instantly. Developers were blown away by the vision. An artificial intelligence that could actually do things for you, autonomously, without constant handholding. People started sharing screenshots of Clawdbot handling their email backlogs, booking restaurant reservations, even negotiating car purchases. One user said they outsourced the painful aspects of buying a car to their Clawdbot instance, and it was so refreshingly nice that it sold them on the entire vision. Another cleared through thousands of unread emails. The testimonials were pouring in. And then the problems started piling up, fast. Problem number 1. Anthropic sent a trademark claim. They argued that Claude looked too much like Claude, their brand name. This triggered a huge backlash. David Heinemeier Hansson, the creator of Ruby on Rails and a very influential voice in tech, called Anthropic's recent moves customer hostile. Developers who had been enthusiastic Claude advocates started questioning whether Anthropic was becoming the kind of company they didn't want to build on top of. Some openly said they were looking at OpenAI's alternatives instead. Problem number 2, and this is the big one: massive security concerns. Multiple security researchers started poking around Clawdbot instances, and what they found was terrifying. Hundreds of API keys and private chat logs were exposed. Multiple unauthenticated instances were publicly accessible on the internet. Researchers found code flaws that could lead to credential theft and even remote code execution. Google Cloud's Vice President of Security Engineering, Heather Adkins, publicly urged people to avoid installing it. One researcher went as far as calling Moltbot an info stealer malware disguised as an artificial intelligence personal assistant. That's a devastating assessment. Users on Hacker News and Reddit reported that the tool chews through tokens. Some people spent over $300 in just 2 days. Others complained it had no directory sandboxing, meaning it could access anything on your computer without restrictions.
And then, as if things couldn't get worse, problem number 3 hit. Crypto scammers jumped on the hype. A fake token appeared claiming to be associated with Clawdbot. It briefly hit a $16 million market cap before collapsing. The project got overrun with scam artists trying to profit off the confusion.
Within 72 hours, one of GitHub's hottest projects had transformed from an exciting innovation into a cautionary tale about viral hype colliding with real-world security, legal, and technical challenges. Meanwhile, Claude Code launched without fanfare, without drama, and with the backing of a major artificial intelligence company. It's proven itself in production. Anthropic used it to build their own product, Claude Cowork, in about 10 days. It works, it's secure, and it's available now. So let's talk about what each tool actually does in practice. Let's start with Claude Code. Claude Code is designed for one thing, helping you write software. You open your terminal, you describe what you want to build, and Claude Code gets to work. It can generate entire applications, debug existing code, refactor messy projects, write tests, and even integrate with version control systems like Git. The workflow is simple. You stay in your terminal, which is where developers already spend most of their time. You maintain control. You review every change before it's applied. The tool is sandboxed to your development environment, so it's not reading your personal emails or accessing random files across your computer. Anthropic has proven Claude Code works at scale. They built real products with it. Other developers are shipping features faster. It's a productivity multiplier for coding tasks. Now let's talk about Clawdbot, or Moltbot as it's now called. The vision is much broader. Imagine an artificial intelligence assistant that's always on, always watching, always ready to help. You connect it to Slack or Discord or Telegram. You give it access to your email, your calendar, your browser. Then you just tell it what you need. Book me a table at that Italian restaurant for Friday night. Clear out my promotional emails. Find the best flight deals to Tokyo next month. Research this topic and summarize the findings. The assistant handles it. One viral example involved a user who let Clawdbot handle negotiating with a car dealership. The artificial intelligence managed the back and forth, got pricing information, and helped close the deal. The user said it made a painful process actually pleasant. Another popular use case is the Mac Mini setup. People are buying Mac Mini computers specifically to run Clawdbot 24/7 as a dedicated artificial intelligence server. Discussion about Mac Minis suddenly exploded on social media. Even Logan Kilpatrick, who heads Google's AI studio, ordered one after seeing the Clawdbot hype. The appeal is obvious. This feels like the future. An always-on artificial intelligence that handles the boring parts of digital life. It's ambient, it's autonomous, it's exciting. But here's the critical question: at what cost? And I'm not just talking about money. Let's break down the actual costs because this gets complicated fast. Claude Code's pricing is straightforward. You pay for what you use through Anthropic's API. For most developers doing normal coding tasks, the costs are reasonable and predictable. You're not running it 24/7. You use it when you need it. You can estimate your spending pretty accurately. Plus, if you're already subscribed to Claude Pro for $20 per month, you get some included API usage. For serious development work, you'll pay more, but you're in control. Clawdbot's costs are trickier. The software itself is free and open source, but you need to host it somewhere. Many people are using Mac Minis or cloud servers. That's hardware or hosting fees right there. Then there's the API costs. Remember, Clawdbot is running constantly, monitoring messages, checking emails, browsing the web. It's making API calls all the time. And here's the kicker. You cannot use your Claude Pro subscription with Clawdbot. That violates Anthropic's terms of service. You must pay for API access separately. Users report the costs can escalate shockingly fast. One tester ran through 80 million tokens in a single day of testing. At current API pricing, that's approximately $80 in one day. Multiple users have reported spending $300 or more within just 2 days of experimentation. There's also the hidden cost of risk. If your Clawdbot instance is compromised, attackers could access everything: your API keys, your chat logs, your personal data, your corporate credentials. What's the cost of a data breach? So yes, Clawdbot might be free software, but the total cost of ownership is significantly higher. Now let's address the elephant in the room: security. This is where things get really serious. The security community has been sounding alarm bells about Clawdbot since day one. Let me walk you through the specific concerns. First, there's the access problem. Clawdbot needs extensive permissions to do its job. It needs to read your messages, access your email, browse on your behalf, execute commands on your computer. It's not sandboxed. It's not restricted. It has the keys to your entire digital kingdom. Multiple security researchers found that many Clawdbot instances were deployed without proper authentication. That means anyone on the internet could potentially access them. Your private conversations, your API credentials, your personal data, just sitting there, publicly accessible. Third, there are code-level vulnerabilities. Researchers identified multiple flaws that could lead to remote code execution. One researcher literally called it info stealer malware disguised as an artificial intelligence personal assistant. Compare this to Claude Code. Claude Code runs in your terminal with your existing permissions. It doesn't require always-on access to everything. It's designed with security in mind from the ground up. Anthropic has security teams, compliance frameworks, and years of experience. So here's the question everyone's asking. Can Claude Code do everything Clawdbot does? The short answer is no, not exactly, but the longer answer is more nuanced. Claude Code can definitely handle many coding tasks better than Clawdbot. It's optimized for development work. But Clawdbot was designed for a different use case. It's meant to be a general assistant that handles non-coding tasks, booking reservations, managing email. However, here's where it gets interesting. Some creators have realized that with the Claude API and some custom scripting, you can build most of Clawdbot's functionality yourself using Claude Code as a foundation. You'd have more control, better security, and lower costs. Let's talk about the community reaction, because this is where things got really interesting. The developer community is deeply split. On one side, you have the enthusiasts who see Clawdbot as a glimpse of the future. They point to real-world success stories. On the other side, you have the skeptics and security professionals who see Clawdbot as a cautionary tale. They're not anti-AI, they're anti-reckless deployment. Then there's a third group, former Claude enthusiasts who are now questioning Anthropic itself. The trademark dispute over the Claude name rubbed many people the wrong way. Some of these developers are now looking at OpenAI's tools. So what should you actually do? Which tool should you use? Here's my honest assessment. If you're a developer who wants to ship code faster, Claude Code is the obvious choice. It's proven, it's secure, it's cost-effective, and it's officially supported. You can start using it today without worrying about security nightmares or surprise bills. If you're curious about Clawdbot's vision of an always-on artificial intelligence assistant, I'd say proceed with extreme caution. If you're a casual user who just wants an AI helper, the risks far outweigh the benefits right now. My advice? Start with Claude Code if you're a developer. Keep an eye on how Moltbot evolves. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. I'll see you in the next video.